Said, okay, everybody, 8 p.m. time for us to get started. So we all know when it comes to Monday night, these calls are all about training. This is all about advancing your business. And I think an awful lot of people seem to forget that this really is a business. People think that we're here to trade and that we're just sort of, there's a huge social element because we have a lot of fun together and we work together well. That's great, but this is a serious business, and someone who treats this as a serious business and has turned it into a multi-million-dollar business of his own is here to help us to take it one step further. I'm going to unmute you right now, Brandon. So I can see you're in the car, so that means no slides.
Yes.
Okay. So
no,
Brandon,
no slide.
I'm going to hand this over to you, my friend. All yours.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me. If you can't, just put it in the chat. But yeah, the reason why I'm in a car today is because I actually just bought a Range Rover. I'd taken one of my cars, a BMW, and actually bought a Range Rover today. So I got rid of the BMW. I got a Range Rover. So I'm actually driving an SUV for the first time in a number of years, and also ordering some food because I'm starving. But in fact, I actually got my trading partner here. As you guys are able to see sometimes, Josh Lee. This is the guy that I actually trade with on a daily basis. He and I have been doing, HFX with binary for quite some time, and it's been really amazing. So hold on a second, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and buy the food here. But so really what I wanted to talk about as I was driving today and getting this car is it really gave me some perspective that I want to share with you guys. And that is how you can really utilize your trading to actually build a business. And I realize not everybody on here wants to build a business, which is totally okay. And you just want to trade, and that's just fine. But here's one of the cool things. Okay, thank you. Here's one of the really cool things about what we're doing. So, and I want to give you a real life example as to what just happened when I went to do this transaction. All right. So myself and my trading partner, Josh here, we actually got to the dealership, and kind of a small dealership. And I said, hey, look, I'm looking at Range Rovers. We'd been researching them for a while. I'd already kind of made up my mind that I wanted to go ahead and get one. And so we just kind of got to talking, and I want you guys to really take some notes on this because I think it's really important. I did not tell him what I do. I went in there. I said, here's what I got. He said, here's what I can give you for your car. And we just kind of negotiated on price back and forth. But I went in there with one word, and that's called confidence. And the confidence that I had is actually what got him to ask me, said, so it seems like from seeing the car in your house, because I had sent him a picture of my car. He said, what is it that you do for a living? And I said, I traded currency for my phone. And he goes, oh man. He goes, I did that several years ago and I stopped because I had to focus on my business and stuff like that. So start on a conversation. But here's what's interesting. Instead of just jumping into it and telling him how amazing that the trading is and how we've been able to make all this money, and he's like, how are you going to go ahead and pay for this? And I said, I'm going to pay cash. So there's no loans. They're like, loan? A loan? I don't do loans, man. We pay cash for stuff, right? And so it got him to ask the question, what do you do? And so I did not tell him very much, but his wife, who is from around the Ukraine, ended up saying, you've really inspired my husband to want to get back into trading. So he comes back in after we're filling out the paperwork and stuff like that. He comes back in and goes, I really want to start trading again. So here, not only did I get a new car from him, but at the same time, now I'm going to end up having a new customer. I'm going to sign up this car dealer because what I'm going to do is I took his card. I'm going to follow up with him and I'm going to say, hey, look, it was great to do this transaction with you. I'm super pumped to be driving this Range Rover. But I want to make you more money. Instead of you making your $1,000 US, whatever he ended up making, 1,000, 2,000 or whatever, I actually want to make you more money on the transaction. So what I want you to do is I want you to actually watch this short video, and this will show you what I've been doing and how I was able to pay cash for the Range Rover and not need a loan. So now I've piqued his interest, right? So I've piqued his interest. He's interested. He said, he actually told myself and Josh, he said, you are the first people I've met that actually have made money trading. He said, this is really inspiring. And so now I'm going to send him the video. I'm going to follow up. We now have a relationship. We built a relationship of trust, BRT, build relationship of trust. I'm going to show him how we're doing our trading. He's from Europe. Okay. Him and his wife are from Europe. And then after that, I'm going to talk to him about the affiliate side and how he can start creating a residual income, because look, his car sales right now are pretty slow, right? It's a slow time for him. He needs more money. He's open-minded. But number one, did I talk to him about the business? No, I didn't. All I said was I trade currency from my phone, right? He sees me pay cash for the car. And all I did was I piqued his interest. He asked a few questions. I'm going to send him a video. And so the point of my message to you guys today, guys, is realize that you can use your trading, whether you're successful or not right now, and you just joined, or you're going to leverage the success of the people that you're working with, which are who? Your business partners, right? You leverage their success for you to build, number one, your own confidence, and number two, to create a residual income for yourself at the same time. The second thing I wanted to bring up to you guys today, I'm going to have my partner Josh say just a few words on here, because I'm actually going to take this car now to a this car wash here to kind of completely detail it up. But the second thing I want to share with you guys today, I'm really excited about, and I think that Roger and Simon have already kind of talked to you about it, is that I talked to Matthew Thayer yesterday, and I've talked to him a few times the last few weeks. And the cliff notes I want to give you guys, it's really exciting. So I said, hey, Matt, if we were able to fly you out to the United Kingdom and do an all-day workshop, hands-on, and teach our people how to trade and make money while you're actually out there, actually make the people money, where you are there in person, and it's private, it's exclusive, and we don't invite all these other teams to be there. It's just for Simon and Roger's team. Would you do it? He said, count me in. And so when this whole situation's over with COVID-19 and stuff, I want you guys to know that myself and Matthew are committed. It's going to happen. It's for your team only. It's not for any other teams. This is private. There'll be a qualification to get there. And what he's going to be able to teach you there in person is going to change your situation. It's going to bring you so much hope, so much faith. And realize he is one of the best traders in this company. He would fly all the way from the USA to United Kingdom, which you know is not a short flight, and he will only train your team. All right. So this is something I committed him to do, which I think is fantastic. It is a sacrifice because, as you know, you're sacrificing sleep. It affects his trading schedule. But he said, tell those guys that I'm in. So that was the second thing I wanted to do. And what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to give Josh my headphones here, is I just want him to share, really, because some of you don't know Josh. He's my trading partner. Josh is someone who is a doctor that has been able to give up being a doctor because of his success that we have had trading. And I want him to share with you guys what trading has done for him, his family, his hope, his confidence, his faith in his future, where he has literally given up a doctorate degree that he paid several $100,000 US to get. And guess what? He gave up a six-figure income to trade. We're having success. And I just want for him to share, because you see me a lot, you see Jason a lot, you see Alex and Matt and even Chris Terry. But this is someone who is a testimonial, who has made a lot of money as a doctor, has a degree. He finished more schooling than me. He's smarter than me, pretty much a 4.0 GPA student. Guess what he's doing? He's trading full time. And it really is an amazing thing. So guys, I want you to go ahead inside the chat box. I want you to go ahead and put some fire. You know how to do so in the box for Mr. Josh Lee. And Josh, you can actually turn it this way and they can see it better. So guys,
Nice.
Get up for Josh Lee.
Hey everybody, how are you? Great to be with you, and I appreciate the opportunity for Brandon to be able to discuss this with you a little bit. He was talking about the car dealer that we were just at, and we were talking to this gentleman, and he had, as Brandon had mentioned, this guy had done some trading in the past, had made a little bit of money, had lost some money clearly, and the reality is everybody does, right? It's like, does any kid grow up without skinning their knee at some point in their childhood? Everybody's got those little scars on their knees from when they're sprinting down the driveway or somewhere. They fall down, they get some gravel in their knees from falling down. And trading is kind of like that. Each of us, we get into it, we experiment a little bit, and we try it out. A lot of times we throw too much money at it from day one, and the end result is that we experience some loss. And that early loss that we experience is because we have not obtained the training and education on how to do it properly yet. And so it's not that, kind of like a little kid when they're running and they fall down, it's not that they'll never learn how to run. It's, most of you probably don't fall down every time you go walking, right? And the same kind of thing is true with trading. Trading isn't just guaranteeing that you're going to always be losing more than you're making, right? You can get to the point where you're actually getting ahead, but it's based on one key thing, and that's it's learning the skill, obtaining the education. And when I say education, I'm not saying you have to go get a professional trading license. You don't have to be a Series 7 licensed individual or be a total master with some degree in trading in order to be successful with this. I have a doctorate degree. I'm from the medical profession, but I don't have a degree in finance or in trading or in these kind of things. And yet I'm successful because I've been willing to spend the time to actually learn the skill. And so what I want to share with you a little bit is my own experience in transitioning from the medical field to trading. So I was in business for a number of years and then went back to school. I decided to go into healthcare, and I invested a total, it's like 14 years of my life in order to obtain my doctoral education and to get into healthcare. My impression, my belief, and I'm sure a lot of you share this as well, is that individuals who go into healthcare, you do so because you want to help people. You want to serve. You love the human body and anatomy and all this exciting stuff, and you want to help people. And that's exactly what I did. So I got into it and I was helping people, but I quickly realized that behind the scenes, healthcare was very much like any other business. They were in it for the money, and nothing wrong with money. I like to make a lot of money. I didn't blame any of these owners. Let's see, your camera played. It's is that something else? Okay, something else. Sorry, guys. Anyway, lost my train of thought there. The behind the scenes was kind of the money side of healthcare. And as you probably know, a lot of doctors make a lot of money. And again, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But what I saw really disturbed me because there was a whole lot of dishonesty going on behind the scenes. And as I watched this, and people were they were billing for codes of things that they weren't doing. And it wasn't just like one medical practice. It was hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, assisted living facilities. There was a lot of different settings where I was seeing this, and I was pretty disgusted by the whole thing. And I thought, man, people criticize entrepreneurs and people who are trying to build a business, for being involved in schemes. They hear about Forex, and they say, oh, that's a scam. I lost money once in that. Well, let me tell you what, in the healthcare field, there's a whole lot of garbage too. And so anyway, so Brandon introduced me to Forex trading. I was familiar with the markets in general, but then I got involved with Forex specifically. I said, okay, I really want to learn this because in my early days when I first learned about it, the only kind of internet anybody had was dial-up. It was super slow, and it frankly just didn't work. Nowadays, with fast internet, I mean, you can really execute trades quickly. And so as I began to learn the skill, I literally opened up my phone, I downloaded MetaTrader 4, and began to just look at the charts, to watch how these candles moving, what moves the price. and hour after hour literally turned into thousands of hours that I personally spent on my own time to learn how the market was moving, right? And I began to learn from other people. I went through IAM's Mastery Academy and got signed up and actually went through and learned what makes up these markets, what's making them move. And over time, and I'll tell you right up front, when I actually started out, to be totally honest, I actually had a fair amount of success, not with a whole lot of money, but I was winning like every single trade. I won like my first 40 trades in a row. And, but then I started losing money because I didn't know how to manage the risk. And so I ended up blowing a few small accounts. But through the whole learning process, I said, you know what, I really need to learn this skill. Just as I had spent 14 years of my life learning how to be a medical professional, I knew right up front, I needed to spend the time to really learn the skill about trading. And then I wasn't going to be able to learn it all day one. And so I began to seek out individuals who really knew what they were doing. And over time, the long story short is I have developed the skill where I can look at the charts and I can tell you generally which direction the markets are going, when it's transitioning, when it's reversing, and so forth. And I understand a lot of the indicators. And just like you would learn a new language, I speak French, I speak and I speak a couple different languages. And just as it takes time to really learn that language, it takes time to learn the trading language. And but I can tell you, with time, you can get it. Now, day one, because you can't learn all of it yourself, it's important to rely on some other people. And that's where the IM educators come into the picture. These are guys who have had success. Brandon was talking about Matthew Thayer. I watch Matthew Thayer every single night. You know that? I've been doing this now for 5 years, but I watch Matthew Thayer every single night because I've got an open mind, you know, and I'm willing to learn from people that I've seen have tremendous success. And even though I feel like I've really learned this and I've had success, I can learn more things from Matthew Thayer because this guy is just crushing it. And so I would encourage each of you to do the same. Spend the time to be on those sessions. Even though you're going to hear a lot of stuff, you're like, I don't understand what he's saying. He's using terms that I'm not familiar with. Go research those terms. If he's talking about a candlestick, learn what a candlestick is. If he's talking about a pip, learn what a pip is. If he's talking about, you know, just binary options in general, learn what those terms are. Spend a little bit of time on your own to learn what those things are. You can have success with this. A lot of times when people lose trades, it's because of small little things that they're just not aware of that make all the difference in the world. But I can tell you from my own experience that if you will put in the time, the success will come, the prosperity will come. Brandon and I are testimonials of this. It does take time though. I'm not one to blow smoke in your face and say, hey, this is going to happen overnight. You can experience overnight success by utilizing people like Matthew Thayer and actually taking their trades, but to actually develop the skill takes time. They didn't hand me a medical license and say, go treat these patients day one. I had to spend 14 years and spending time in clinicals, actually practicing. I had, I can't even tell you how many tests I took and how much information, how many thousands upon thousands of pages that I had to study in order to become an expert in my field. And so I have expected no less of becoming an expert trader. I had to spend the time. I have literally spent thousands of hours learning how to become a good trader. But I can tell you, for those of you who are working jobs and you're like, I don't have thousands of hours to spend on this, you can learn and you can piggyback essentially on people like Matthew Thayer and other educators within IM to be able to bridge that gap so that you are not completely feeling like you have to become an expert before you can make any money at all. Because the reality is you don't have to be an expert in order to make money with this day one. You can rely on some of these educators. Excuse me, I'm just jumping out of the car here. And you can have success day one. I know people who they don't know the first thing about trading, and yet they're jumping on Matthew Thayer's calls and they're making money with it. And you can do the exact same thing. You can jump on those calls. And I mean, he just did one last night, and I won like 4 out of 4 trades. I missed one of his trades. I think he took a 5th trade. But anyways, long story short is we won 4 out of 4 trades with him last night. It was fantastic. And it took no effort, no knowledge on my part to be able to just take his trades. And why do I take his trades when I know how to trade personally? The reality is because he's winning and he's good. And so I figure, why not? It's just extra wins, extra money in my trade account. So I'm super pumped about that. But I can tell you guys firsthand that trading does work. You can be successful with this, but give yourself some time. Be patient with yourself as you are learning the skill. And just as you see somebody like me who has a medical degree, I'm a doctor, it takes time, okay? They did not give me my license day one, right? I had to prove it. And even after I was done with all of the schooling, even after I was done with all of the training, my clinical rotations and so forth, I had to then go take multiple exams with the state to prove that I knew what the school was saying that I knew. And so that is powerful. It's like, I have to prove it. In fact, I have to renew my license every so often to prove that I continue to know what I claim to know. I have to do continuing education to prove that I know what I claim to know. And so with trading, you have to spend the time. So be patient with yourself. It doesn't happen overnight. And to be successful, learn from the mentors, learn from the people who are good. When I was in school, the other medical professionals who were treating, I could tell, hey, this guy knows what he's doing, that guy not so much. And so I would watch them, I would learn from them. Same thing with trading. I see somebody like Matthew Thayer, and I go, man, does he have a doctoral degree in trading? No, he doesn't. But guess what? He knows what he's doing because he's developed the skill, and I can see that. So I'm totally willing to learn from him. He's a phenomenal trader. He's a great teacher too. And the truth is, not every trader, even if they're good, is a good teacher. Matthew is a phenomenal teacher, and if you've been on his sessions, you probably can relate to that and appreciate the fact that he's very clear and so forth. Brandon's the same way. He's a phenomenal promoter, phenomenal builder. He's built successful downlines and businesses for years now, and that is one of the skills that he has. But that took time. It didn't happen overnight. Anyway, guys, I'll wrap up with that, and I'll turn the time back over to Brandon. But I appreciate the time and the opportunity to be able to be on with you today. And anyway, I wish you the best of success, but spend the time and to do what it takes to learn this skill. Be on those sessions. You will learn this. You can succeed. I can't promise you you'll succeed, but here's what I can promise you, is that if you don't try, you will not succeed. If you don't take the time, you will not succeed. But if you do, if you spend the time, just never quit. If you never quit, you will succeed eventually. And I'm living proof. I've spent over 5 years learning this skill. It's taken time. I didn't succeed day one. You guys can do this. But again, be patient with yourself. Don't over risk. Don't over leverage your accounts. Don't blow a bunch of money you don't need to spend. To this day, sometimes if I'm wanting to test something new, I'll put $1 on that trade. $1. I've got a lot more money than that to be able to risk, but I'll risk $1 on that. Why? Because I don't want to blow money at something if it isn't proven. So spend the time to prove things and to learn the skill, and you'll be successful. But again, thanks, guys. Great to be with you. I'll turn the time back over to Brandon.
All right, guys. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Wasn't that inspiring? I mean, wasn't that so inspiring? Let me wipe this off. Hold on. There's a little smudge on here on the camera. But by the way, we're just here at the car dealership or the car wash place. So if you guys get any background noises, because there are a whole bunch of people here to get their car washed. But the thing that's inspiring about this whole message that you just heard from my trading partner is that this is from a guy who's not just your regular Joe. He's actually got a doctorate degree. This is someone who's smart. This is someone who went through all the school. This is someone who spent a lot of money. And guess what he's doing? He's trading. He gave up his career, and this is what he's doing. And that, to me, that's pretty freaking powerful. And so that's kind of the message we want to share with you guys, as well as Matthew Thayer coming out to the United Kingdom. We'll get you guys things a little bit closer. We'll get you guys specific details with dates on there, the venue it's going to be at, a flyer that you guys can market. Again, there's going to be a qualification for it. But with that, Roger, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back to you. And if there's anything else you need from myself or Josh, we're going to be right here.
Brandon, thank you very much for that. And you need to make sure that you stick with the guy who sold you the car, because I spent decades selling cars. Those guys make nothing. You really need to help them.
He said that too. He said it was extremely slow time,
Oh, trust
stressful.
me, man. Trust me.
And he needs another source of income. And I told him, I said, honestly, in 30 to 45 minutes a day of attending our sessions, you could actually start making some pretty good money. So he wants to do it. So I'm going to give him the information today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, guys. So you heard Simon sent a message out earlier and said there was an exciting announcement, and Brandon has already fed it to you. And we'd already mentioned to you before that we'd asked Brandon if we could get Matty across. And I just want to reiterate a little bit about what a big deal this is for Matty to come across here, because Matty is not part of our upline. Matty is, yes, he's employed by IM as a trader, but trust me, he really doesn't get a lot of money to be employed as by IM as an educator and a trader. He does that to help other people and help spread the word. And he has a talent. He has a rare talent because he's doing so incredibly well. So for him to come across here, Matty is now chairman 25 of his own team that's not part of Brandon's team. That means he's going to come across and he's going to give his time to dedicate to us, to our team, when that is time that he should be spending with someone else. And I think that's something extremely special, because the guy is not getting paid directly to do that. Now, he's going to make money whilst he's trading over here, so he won't be doing it absolutely for nothing, but nonetheless, he's doing something for you guys that he has no need to do. He has no reason to do. There's no direct benefit to him for trading you guys. And that really is something exceptional. So here's, here's how we plan things going out. And Brandon's been talking to Simon and myself over the last couple of days about this, and Brandon said, would you like this to be just for your team exclusively? And we don't want to be seen as the guys who say, no, we don't like sharing. We don't want to be seen as the guys who say, this is just for us. But there is an element to saying, we've got to say, we want to look after you guys first because you are our team. And we were sort of wary about how we put that message across to Brandon. So we put it as tactfully as we could and sort of held our breath a little bit, expecting something different. And Brandon said, I agree 100%, which is phenomenal that we get that degree of support from Brandon. Brandon's already had a word with Matty. So here's the deal. We can't tell you dates yet because God alone knows when people can fly or anything else. We're expecting that it's probably going to take maybe until October. And right now, for you guys, that's really good news. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. But this is what it's going to be. Round about October, maybe stretch into November, because this is down to government time restrictions on flying. But Matty will come across, and the deal is that he will come across and he'll spend a week with us. We're going to fly him across here. We're going to put him in a hotel very close to the motorway network, up in the north of England, which, as much as it says north of England, if you look on the map, it is pretty much central for everyone. So whether you're coming down from Scotland, whether you're coming up from the south coast, pretty much the middle of the country. And we're going to put him somewhere central for everyone to get to. You guys will have the opportunity to sit in the room with him, trading for hours every day with possibly, well, not possibly, with the best trader that IM has calling the trades for you all day long. Now, you just heard Josh say last night's call, which was a training call, not a trading session. It was a training call. But in the space of 1 hour of a training call that wasn't meant to trade, he called 4 winning trades. How many trades do you think he's likely to call in a day? How many winning trades do you think he's likely to call in 5 days? And how much do you think you will learn if he doesn't just call the trade, but you're actually sat in the same room as him and you can say, excuse me, why did you say that one? What is it that makes that work? And what happens if I do this? You can ask questions and get answers. The Go Live sessions are incredible earning opportunities for us. It's a rare earning opportunity for anyone in network marketing to come into something where you can just sit there, watch someone on screen and make money watching what they're doing. But asking questions, yes, you've got a chat and you can type messages in there, but those chats move like crazy because there's thousands of people on there and your question gets lost really quickly. At this session, you're going to be live in the room. All you got to do is put your hand up and say, can you just explain that? You will learn so much, you will change your life in 1 week. Now, Brandon said about qualification. There is a qualification for it. And the qualification is, in fact, Simon, you tell people about qualification.
Okay, let's really get right down to the nuts and bolts. I've been on the phone more or less all day today with the venue, trying to sort out some prices, some budgets, and everything else. It's going to be in the Mercure Hotel in Haydock. That is literally junction 23 off the M6. It's 300 yards off the M6. And the benefit with this hotel is we've got a nice room that we can all fit in. But a lot of you on this call are really going to be annoyed. Why? Because the qualification means nobody will be able to book it unless you're at least a P150. That means you must have sponsored 3 people. If not, tough titty, you can't come. We understand this business is about trading, but it's not about just trading. So we're a networking business. So you need to start to build a team. And if you can't share these results, crazy. Now, a lot of you have done far more than a P150. A lot of you will be qualifying as P1000, P2000, and so forth, and even P5000. So the deal would be that we will set up a booking line that people can book. And it's going to be, let's get all the prices here, it's going to be £129 for Monday, £129 for Tuesday, £129 for Wednesday, a Thursday and Friday. Well, I don't think we're going to do Friday because that's not a good trading day. What will you get? You will get 3 lots of teas and coffees. It'll be for the room. You're going to get lunch and you're going to it's going to be to sit next to Matthew Thayers. So you can ask him any question you can. Now, I'll tell you now, guys, that's £129 per session. I would be staggered if you guys couldn't make that plus on the day with the trades. It's like, I'll be honest with you, and I make no bones about it, if I couldn't, for that week, if I couldn't make in excess of 20 to 40,000 that week, something's wrong. Something's really wrong.
Can I just step in for 1 second?
Yeah.
Something just occurred to me that you and I haven't talked about, but it's really worth mentioning because £129. So for 4 days, that's going to work out at £520. There are companies on the internet selling Forex trading courses that you do by mail order and you never get to see anybody for £10,000. There are companies selling Forex courses on the internet for £20,000. You're going to sit in a room with the trader, but it's not just a course because you're actually going to trade and you're actually going to get paid and you will earn multiple times the amount it's cost you to be there.
So do not forget, you pay £129, that is tax deductible because that's a business expense. You make money trading, that's tax-free. So you got it both ways. It's a win-win situation. Now, a lot of you have booked and paid for a leadership weekend. Now you've paid, let's get the prices, you've paid £100 and odd pounds. I can't remember exactly how much it is. I think it's £125. So this is what I'm prepared to do. I'm prepared to give everybody that's booked that a refund. But if any of you want to roll it over to book for one of these days, then you can do so. Now, if you booked, because I know like Ed has booked for him and Denise, so that's 2 places. So if Ed wanted to reserve 2 days for that price, he can. So everything is going to be included for him. So what you're going to need to do, there's some of you that have got some of your team that have booked for a leadership weekend. Reach out to them, ask them if they want to then swap it. But don't forget, they got to be a P150. That's crucial. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, oh, but I'm not P150. Oh, I can't recruit people. If you can't recruit people with a winning formula like this, I know I'm rock hard, but there's something wrong. There's something wrong with your mind up here. There's something wrong with words coming out of here.
Can I do the bit where the gentle bit now, where you just sort of
can you go soft? Yeah.
There are times you scare me, Brooks.
Sometimes I scare myself.
I know.
Well, I don't care.
Here's the deal, guys. Brandon just told you a story about picking his car up and talking to the guy when he bought his car. He didn't go in and say, come and join my business. Yeah? It's just about telling people what you're doing and piquing people's interest. Joe Gomez tells us all about it. There are training videos in the back of the winner's circle that, frankly, no one is looking at. But there are training videos that tell you exactly how to do it. There is a mountain of information. All you have to do is share this business. You don't have to sell it. It really doesn't take any selling. Just let people know what you're doing. This isn't like a traditional business. I spent years in traditional business, in the motor trade, just like the guy that Brandon was just talking about. And when I found a way to generate prospects that was cheap, I told nobody. That was mine. That was mine. That was my way of getting people cheap. In this industry, it's about sharing and helping other people. Now, here's the first thing that I would say to you. I don't think finding 3 people is difficult. If you know 3 people personally who you think can benefit from what you're seeing yourself with your own eyes, you guys are getting results right now. I see comments in the Phoenix group. Every time there is a live session, people get so hyped up and so excited about how much money they're making. And that chat goes crazy. It's just jabber, 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 it's pinging away. Why don't you tell other people outside the group rather than telling everyone else inside the group who already knows? Go tell other people about it. But here's the other thing. There's 2 sides to this that will work for you spectacularly well. First and foremost, you need to find 3 people to qualify yourself. But when you get 3 people, if you want my honest opinion, I think you've got a responsibility to help each one of those 3 people be in the room with you. Because if they think that you found 3 people so that you could qualify to be in this, and you didn't tell them about it, and then you turned up and you made a fortune and they didn't have that opportunity, how does that make you look? Seriously? But here's the thing. If you help them to find 3 other people, and all you've got to do is say to them, this is what I did. I got you interested, and I got you onto a Zoom call, and I got you on a 3-way call, and you joined. All you need to do is tell someone what you do, get them onto a Zoom call, get them onto a 3-way call, and get involved. But when they do that, the 3 of them do that, they now qualify. And more importantly, you're now P600. Now, IM is going to give you $600 a month. And if they duplicate the same thing, because we've got between now and maybe October to do this, when they do the same thing and they hit P600, so they've got some money to trade with Matty, you become P2000. And now you have some money to trade with. If you turn up to that event With a £200 account, you're going to make some money. You probably cover your costs. But if you turn up with a £2,000 account, you make a lot more money. And just by sharing it, we can give you the money. We can give you that £2,000 because we've got time to do it. And if you multiply your account, if you let your money roll over, you don't take it out. If you just, and take some money out by all means, but if you let your money work for you, there's no reason why you can't be trading at that session, be turning up with a $10,000 account. And can you imagine having Matty Thayer sat in front of you, calling 10, 15, 20 trades a day for a week with a $10,000 account? How much money are you going to make now? Honestly, guys, I've been in network marketing now for almost 30 years. Not as long as Simon, because I'm not as old as Simon. Sorry, mate. Couldn't resist it. But honestly, I've never seen an opportunity like this. When Brandon said that, yes, he could get Matty here, it just blew me away that he would actually say, yes, he'd do it.
Now, if anybody is long distance or are abroad that want to fly over, I've arranged a special price with a hotel where it's £80 a night for a double bed and breakfast. So you can choose to stay over. I will be staying at the hotel for the whole week because it's not fair really to invite Matty over and leave him on his own. He won't know a soul. So it's going to be amazing how much information that you can learn from somebody.
And I'll be staying there as well because it's not fair leaving Matty with Simon.
This is going to be an event. Yeah, this is going to be an event that you can make some serious money and get some serious education on how to build this business and everything else. And then you can walk away with an action-packed story to tell all your contacts. And I tell you now, if you don't go P600 before the event, you certainly will after the event. See, the deal is all about building your organization.
Honestly, guys, this is everything. This is the whole deal for you, because I think you have a phenomenal opportunity to make money in that week. I think you have a mind-blowing opportunity to learn something that will be there with you for the rest of your life, a skill that will be there for you forever. And I think you have an opportunity to A, impact other people and help them, and B, get paid for it as well. I don't think we could make anything better than that for you. So that's awesome. But here's the deal. I know October sounds like it's a long time off, but really, we came back from London in February, and we came back and more or less walked into lockdown. Lockdown seems like it's taken forever, doesn't it? And yet it's only been a few short weeks. So October will come around faster than you think. The time to work on this right now is now, because right now, people you know everywhere are getting scared. They're getting scared that their jobs are going. They're getting scared that their businesses are going under. They're getting scared about what they're going to do after lockdown. We can do something to help them right now. And will we benefit from it? Yeah, we'll benefit from it, but that's not the reason to go out and do it. Do something to help someone in the first instance. And there's nothing wrong with getting a benefit from helping someone, as long as we're not going out there and misrepresenting things and making promises that aren't true. That's not acceptable, and that's not doable. But that's not what we're doing anyway. We're just here to help. So that's that. So that was our big news. And then Brandon sent me another message. So Brandon sent me another message, and I was talking to Simon about this 15 minutes before we started this call. And the other news was I got a phone call, a message from Brandon, as did Simon, at something like 2 a.m. the other morning. I was awake, Brandon was, Simon wasn't. But Brandon asked whether we would be interested in going on a personal call with Christopher Terry. because we all know that last week, Jason Brown and Matt Rosa put forward an incentive to help every single one of you rank advance over the next 15 days. In fact, there is now 14 days left to rank advance with the incentive that Matt and Jason put up. And that was an incredible incentive that came from those guys, because that's coming out of their pocket. That's not coming out of the company's pocket. But then Brandon said he'd had a conversation with Christopher Terry, and Chris Terry is now putting on an additional incentive for this team only again. So we've just heard Matty Thayer for this team only. Now we have another incentive for this team only. And the message, I got that a couple of days ago, and I was told there's going to be a call in a couple of days' time, and can you be on it, and can Simon be on it? And we both said, yeah, of course we will. But the message came through roughly 1 hour ago now, saying you guys are all invited as well, every single one of you. You get to hear it first, straight from the chairman of the company. That's the good news. Here's the not so good news. You've got to get up early.
Here's some bad news.
The call is tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern time, which makes it about 3 o'clock on Wednesday morning for each of us. Yeah. Honestly, I've got a guy who's worth...
It will be worth it.
I've got a guy who is worth $500 million, who's been trading for 25 years and is prepared to make an incentive to help me to grow my business. He's actually going to offer to pay me to grow my business. I can get up early for that. So after this call, I'm going to put the link into the Winner's Circle Telegram group, so you're all going to get the link. Honestly, some of you guys will go, I'm not getting up at 3 in the morning, or I'm not staying up till 3 in the morning, and that's fine. That's completely and utterly up to you. To be honest with you, we've been hearing lots and lots of talk about chairmans breaking this year. Simon's already hit chairman. I promise you, I will be the next one to hit chairman. I'll get up at 3 in the morning if that's what it takes, because hitting chairman makes me a 6-figure earner. And I told you guys that I've owned businesses in the past. I've owned my business, I've been successful, I've earned 7 figures in total, but I've never earned 6 figures in one single year. And this year will be the year that it changes. And that's because of the opportunity that this business has. You guys, every single one of you, can follow me to the penny. You can earn every single penny that I earn and that Simon earns as well. It's up to you. Is it worth getting up at 3 in the morning? I think it is, but it's your choice.
Before we finish, can I ask you a question? Can everybody put the camera on and wave their hands furiously if they want to come to the Matthew event that's going to be in Haydock? Put your cameras on. Wave your hands. Okay.
Crazy hand waving going on here.
Yeah, a lot of hands. Okay. That says you're all going to go P150. Can you imagine that? That will be phenomenal. This event will be absolutely phenomenal. Not only are we going to make a shed load of money, we're going to have a shed load of fun. Because we do like to abuse the word fun. I know I get a little bit, not uppity, but a little bit in your face. But that's because I've been around this so long. It's like, I can't chill out. I can't.
Just because you're a dinosaur, mate.
Oh, no. Well, I live life by 2 philosophies. Number 1 is I never, ever, ever want to act my age. Number 2, I never, ever want to grow up. Yeah. Can't help it. It's like I'm a kid at heart. But tough shit. Oh, sorry. Tough. Are we recording it? Oh, yeah, we're recording.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're recording it, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. It's like, do I care? Nah. Am I bothered? Nah. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Are you bothered? Nah. But anyway, tomorrow I've got to go and get a new wheel for my lawnmower, my tractor mower. It's got a puncture, but hey, it's funny. So I'm not going to go with a Range Rover into the dealership and buy a new Range Rover. No, I'm going to go and get my lawnmower's new tyre. But anyway,
You must be gutsy.
we are in an environment where we are recession-proof, and a lot of people are going to be, a lot of people are furloughed, and a lot of people will be losing their income. We can offer them a solution. Guys, you got to get out there and you got to turn around and say to them, I'm involved in a business that's going absolutely ballistic. Do you want to know what I'm involved with? Yeah, what is it? Listen, we got a presentation on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Would you like a link? Yeah, but tell me what it is. Well, I don't know the ins and outs. But I'll tell you what it isn't. It's nothing to do with pills, potions, tablets, skin, HP, none of that stuff. But it's a 15-minute presentation that's going to be happening on Wednesday. Would you like to take 15 minutes out of your life to take the rest of your life off? Your choice. Oh, well, yeah. It's not going to cost you anything. It's going to cost you nothing to look. But it could be something you've been looking for ages. Now with our opportunity where we're doing HFX, makes it so much easier. And I've got a brand new email, prospecting email, that Roger has written for me today, which is absolutely phenomenal. Thanks a lot, Roger. You can tell he's taken all the junk out of it, cleaned it all up, and I tell you now, I am going to prospect the crap out of people with that, and I'm hoping to get some really good results. But anyway, so have we gone through everything? We covered everything. Now, if any of you want to swap your Leadership Weekend ticket for a Matthew Thayer's ticket, let me know. The trouble is, we don't know the date. It's either going to be October, November. It's one of those dates, but we don't know the specific dates. And it's going to be either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on that time. So let me know if you want to swap your ticket for one of those days, if you've already bought it. Now, Roger and I will work on a ticket that we will send out that people can book. We will send it out as soon as we can, although we don't know the dates. The dates are going to be loose, but we do have a limited number of people purely because of the hotel room that the hotel can give us that's available. So it's going to be on a first come, first serve basis. So that
is a valid point, actually, guys. And it is worth mentioning because we reckon that we're going to have 50 spaces available. That's all. Now, there's 59 of you on the call, including Simon and myself. We think there'll be 50 spaces available. Now, maybe not everybody wants to do every single day. So maybe there'll be other days coming in. But if you want to do every single day, I've got to be honest with you, I'm the first one there. I'm there every day. Simon's there every day. And I think if you can get if it were me and I had a regular job, I'd be booking a week's holiday for the opportunity to make 5, 10, 20,000 pounds with a relatively modest trading account to start off with. I'd be booking a week's holiday for that. So if you want to take one of those positions, and right at this moment in time, as Simon said, we can't tell you the exact date, but trust me, we will be telling you about this repeatedly, week in, week out, and letting you know the opportunity that's there for you, because it's going to give you growth in your business. It's going to give you growth in your bank account. So we'll be telling you that time and time and time again. So right now, the next call that we have is Wednesday night. Start to find your first 3. Get people on the Zoom. Brandon's going to be hosting the Zoom. Brandon will be going into the back office. You know that Brandon does the best presentation that we can get. Get people onto that call. Get them to hear from a multi-millionaire Forex trader who is the most...
Does everybody Does everybody know Matthew's story? You know, he started with a $500 trading account, and he got it to 1.3 million in 21 months. I think that's a guy worth listening to. Roger, just give you some news. I've got a stack of people saying, transfer my ticket, I want that, I want 2 tickets, I want 2 tickets. There's not going to be many spaces left.
Right.
Places are going rapidly.
50 spaces max, guys. Let us know if you want to be there. And honestly, I'll be surprised if we don't have all 50 spaces booked very, very quickly. But when you tell us that you want to tell us how many days you want to be there for as well, because that way it'll allow us to maximize the opportunity for as many people as we can. Okay, guys, so we will see you on Wednesday. Get as many people as you can on Wednesday's call. If you can't get people onto Wednesday's call, get them onto Thursday's call. I'll be taking people into the back office as well. Then we're going to have Joe Gomez. He's going to tell everyone how to share the opportunity. And Joe will share with you guys the easy way for you to go out and share this to people. Not selling it, not ramming it down their throats, sharing it with people. That's it for us, guys. So we will see you then. Thanks for your time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Open the mics, Roger. Open the mics.
Okay. Let's open everybody's mics. Okay. No, I can't do that.
Night, guys.
Give me a second.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Unmute all. There we go. So let's. Okay. Is everybody excited? No, we've lost it now. All right, guys. We will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.